Tim, what's up? How are you doing? I'm good. It was quite the stressful day at work today, and it's getting to be the summer season where it gets crazy busy where I work. So, but otherwise, everything's cool. Jerry, how's it going? Adam, you nailed that one right off the bat. It's a pretty iconic theme, though. Yeah. That Back to the Future trilogy is pretty dang good, in my opinion. Chuck is completely done with issue 1. He got me the final sequential pages about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and then sent me the cover. So I'm kind of working on the nuts and bolts of it to put it together. I spent big chunks of the weekend working on the script for it, like the actual words. So I've got to letter it, and then just kind of finish up some of the interior, like extra stuff, the fake ads that are going into it, a letters page, things like that. So there's some stuff to do, but now that he's done with the inking part of it, you know, it can move forward more definitively now. Thanks, Corey. Yeah, it's I mean, I'm kind of nervous to do the crowdfunder part of it because I've never done it before, and I don't know. I have a very low tech setup, so there's some elements to it that I'm like, I don't know how I can make this as potentially attractive to people with my low tech setup in terms of setting up the actual crowdfunder portion of it when I get that going. You're not nervous to buy. Well, I am anxious to get it kind of done and ready and out there for sure. Thanks, Panda. The guy with the dick headgear was trying to do one of those, like, I'm going to do a very intense panel with lots of shadowing and details. But yeah, Adam, I'm really anxious to get it complete and get it in people's hands, and for the people that have been following along for all this time and seeing the creation of it, and Like, here, it'll finally be available. For all the shit I talk, it's like, here, you can actually see my own stuff. I appreciate it, Adam. I appreciate all you guys that have been kind of supportive and encouraging and all that stuff. It means a lot. It really does. Very calm tonight. What part's calm? Or what are we talking about? What am I missing? The chat. Noodle, how's it going? Panda, you like the soundtrack more than the movie? Um, when I first saw the movie, I was a little bit kind of soft on it, just a little bit, but as time has passed, I've gotten much more on board with it. I actually really like it now, as opposed to the first time I saw it, because everyone was saying this is going to be a groundbreaking, senses shattering, I don't know. It was just so hyped up. It almost couldn't possibly live up to the hype. But yes, the soundtrack is it's Hans Zimmer, right? Yeah. He's so good. The music he creates, it's a kind of unbelievable. The movie was Interstellar. It's now moved on to Star Wars. Take me on. Rad Dela Cruz. How's it going, man? Sunshine's a good film. People kind of forget about that one. That one was awesome. But yeah, I'm doing good. Rad. Well, thanks, 3DAFPH. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. Three DAF. Seabiscuit. I've seen that one time. I avoided it for years because I'm like, it's a movie about horses, and the name Seabiscuit just sounded so stupid. I didn't know what the hell the point was. Then I watched it, and I was like, oh, it was actually a pretty good movie. That's what I get for judging something on its name alone. Three Def, it's not about drawing upside down. It's about turning the page and positioning the art in a way so that the natural stroke and motion of your hand is in the right way so you can throw the line. It's not about it being upside down. It's about the page being positioned the way that you need it to put the line down. Yeah, like if you're an inker and you just like tape the page down and think that you can just throw the lines in the best possible way just with the paper still, it doesn't work that way. Like I need to flip it around because the natural motion of your hand is this way. It's very unnatural to go like this. So you turn it around so you can just keep that kind of natural motion. You know what, Panda? You basically just described exactly what my thoughts were at the time. I didn't understand what a sea biscuit was, and it sounded lame. It sounded really stupid. And I'm like, yeah, this is just the guy who just did Spider Man. He went from Spider Man to sea biscuit. How stupid. And then again, like I said, years later, it was on somewhere, and I finally watched it, and I was like, oh, that was actually a pretty good movie. Well, I'm an immature idiot. I don't know shit. That being said, I've still only ever seen it that one time. It was good, but I wasn't like, I need to revisit this. You turned page upside down. My young kid said that last Puss in Boots movie was really good. Whenever I think of the Puss in Boots, I think about what my oldest boy, when he was much younger, he used to call him Kitty Boots. Daddy, I want to watch Kitty Boots. And I thought that was the cutest thing I'd ever heard in my life. So for me, forever, Puss in Boots is Kitty Boots. The last movie I saw in theaters was Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary. That was really good. Probably going to take my boys to see the new Mario, whatever the fuck movie next weekend. Not because I want to see it, but they want to see it. So I figured I can take one for the team from my sweet boys. Damn, I see a lot of movies. What? I mentioned two. What's up, Shocula? But I am excited. There's a couple of movies actually coming out. I'm kind of excited to see. I'm excited for the new Dune movie. The Masters of the Universe movie, I'm definitely going to go to. Um, God, there was some else. What the hell? I can't think. I know there was a couple of things coming out that I'm like, I'm actually shocked that there's a few things I want to go see. I'm like actually anticipating. But yeah, that Project Hail Mary, that is so worth it. It's nice to see a smart, intelligent sci-fi movie that kind of makes you think. The new Spider-Man, I'm sure I'll go to. I mean, honestly, Tom Holland is never disappointed in that role. I unabashedly dig him as Spider-Man. It's going to be kind of hard to top the last one. Doomsday, I'm pretty sure, like most people, I'll be in line to see it, but man, is it like, what are you guys going to do? How are we going to have Tony Stark be Doctor Doom? And do we care? And what's the point? I don't know, but I'm sure I'll be there to have like all those characters back with those directors who I can't remember the name of those goddamn directors of those movies, but they did all the best, like the biggest, most successful Marvel ones. So I'll be there. Yeah, the Russo brothers. Right. You don't like the Iron Spider boy? I you see. I didn't mind it. It made sense in the context of the movie universe that they set up. I did see another artist mention that finally they're going to do a Spider-Man movie that's actually a Spider-Man movie. It's not the Iron Spider. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. But it honestly never bothered me because it made sense in the context of how the character is introduced into the Marvel movies. But yeah, now he just gets to be just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right? But the Russos, I mean, again, it's kind of interesting. From what I understand, they kind of seemed like after Infinity War, they're like, okay, we're done. We said what we needed to say, and then Marvel was eating shit with everything they did, minus the Spider-Man. And they're like, we need a big hit. What can we do? Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers. You're like, oh well, all right. Don't fuck it up, guys. Don't ruin it. Oh yeah. Right, Scorpion's in it. Which he was in one of the Spider-Man movies. Punisher. That'll be I'm interested to see how they'll kind of integrate that. I didn't know about Tombstone. Is Tombstone in this one? The Wolf Master. What's up, my dude? Tombstone. That'll be interesting. Big pale guy with like sharp teeth, right? What do you want on your tombstone? I keep wondering if this Doomsday thing is also going to be like the precursor to setting up to have the X-Men finally join the Marvel universe, the movies anyway. I know they've got some of those characters coming back, obviously. You've seen Marsden as Cyclops, which I'm kind of excited for. I feel like James Marsden was a great Cyclops, but they never gave that character and that actor a moment to shine in a big way. He had a couple of moments that were awesome. Um, in he was kind of fine in the first one. He's Cyclops, he's a stick in the mud, but I like him. And then in part two, X2, he had a couple of badass moments, but then he gets sidelined and kind of disappears for a while. And then X3, he wanted to go off and be in the Superman movie, so they kill him off instantly, and that pissed me off. So I'm like, God damn it. Somebody get Cyclops right, please. Yeah, side character in those movies. I mean, I get why they made Wolverine the main character because, and I'm one of those guys. Like, that's the guy I wanted to see. I'm kind of there to see Wolverine be fucking badass, and they nailed it with the Hugh Jackman casting. But they needed to find a way to balance out all the other characters. Cyclops got shafted.
No matter your vision or your budget, find everything you need to tell your story only at home.
God, I feel like there was some other stuff coming out. Um, there's a new Spielberg movie coming out. I'm pretty sure it's this year, right? It's kind of the big deal about it, as far as I understand it, is that it's not necessarily obviously the last Spielberg movie we're going to see, but it's probably most definitely the last time we're going to see a brand new Spielberg movie with John Williams doing the score. As I understand it, if I heard right, he got John Williams to come out of retirement to score one last movie with Spielberg. And I don't know anything about the movie, but I guarantee you I'm going to be in line. Like, I want to see a new Spielberg movie. Do I think it's a big science fiction thing, and the John Williams score, like, I want to witness that. I want to be there for that one. I got to tell you, when John Williams passes, that is going to be a sad day. That guy has written the music to the greatest movie scores of all time. Avatar 7. Well, I've seen all of them in the theaters so far. I didn't hate any of them. And there's elements about them that I actually really like, but there's also a lot that's like, whew, they're doing this again, huh? I don't think we need any more Avatar movies, Mr. Cameron. Please fucking go make another action movie, like set in the real world with human beings and maybe some sci-fi elements in it, like Aliens or Abyss or Terminator. Please, please, Mr. James Cameron, can you move off of Thundercat Smurf Island and let's just all move on and go do something else that's awesome? Really, Shakula? I saw the first one in the theater, and that 3D element of it to this day blew me away. I'm like, this is one of the most visually amazing things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, John Williams is the greatest. Hans Zimmer. Yeah, I'm all about Hans Zimmer, like I was saying, but they're so different. Obviously, I've heard. I saw someone once say that Hans Zimmer is all about texture and John Williams is all about melody. And I was like, okay, I think that makes sense. They do very different things, but man, but you think about all the things that John Williams has created the music to, like Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, everything great about Star Wars, E.T., Indiana Jones, Superman, um, Hook, Schindler's List, right? It's like, how can one man create so many everlasting, iconic themes? Well, it's because he's a genius, right? I'm ironically listening to him in the background. Favorite Invincible character? I think there's a lot of awesome characters in Invincible. I kind of like Omni Man and Battle Beast. And Invincible himself is a good character. But he's the hero. We're supposed to like him. Conquest, there you go. Rex Explode, right? Yeah, Conquest. I can't begin to tell you how much I was like, I can't wait in the animated show. I was telling my roommate, I'm like, dude, when they get to this thing, I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but when this thing called Conquest shows up, you're about to have your mind blown. Because I knew the fight. You know, I'd read the comics, and considering how accurately they stick to the comics, I'm like, this Conquest thing is going to blow everyone's mind. And if they get to the Invincible War like they did in the comics, that shit's going to blow people's minds. Yeah, the character design for Conquest is pretty epic. Kind of like that scar on his face, got like a robotic arm. He's balding, he's old, but he's like beyond insane powerful. I still haven't watched the most recent episode of Invincible. His great teeth too. That's a good point. Yeah, everything about him was pretty epic. I got to hit up Ryan Otley and see if I could score an interview with him. He lives right here in the same state as me, and he kind of knows me, so it's not impossible to imagine I could score an interview with Ryan Otley. Yeah, I keep thinking about it, and I keep kind of just being chicken shit, and like reaching out and being like, "Hey, remember me? I'm that guy from years ago when you first got started on Invincible. I messaged you and asked you if I could come meet you because you're an artist on a comic book." And he's like, "Sure." And he actually invited me over to his apartment, and I got to see his little drawing table in his living room in his little apartment he was living in with his wife at the time, and saw pages in progress. He just let some random dude he'd never met come over and meet him. And then I'd run into him at local comic conventions, and they had like a 24-hour comic book day going. He was there, and he knew me every time. He remembered me. He's like, "Hey, Rob, man, how's it going? What's up, dude? Did you get the newest issue? Here, I got a free copy of it in my bag here." I'm like, "Shit, brother, thanks." Really nice guy. Hyper talented, of course. I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to say that Invincible wouldn't have been successful if it wasn't for Otley, because the original artist couldn't keep up with the schedule. Yeah, it's mostly us talking about Salt Lake and Mormons. Yeah, Otley's awesome. But yeah, I think he was the key to the book being successful because he was good and his art was exactly what the book needed, and he could keep up with the schedule. And it wouldn't have worked if he wouldn't have been the guy to jump on and keep it going. I don't think anybody would deny that. Do have to say though, I didn't like I like his art a lot, but once he got done with Invincible, he took off to go do Spider-Man, and I collected it for several issues, but I'm like, it wasn't holding my interest. Like his art was as good as it's ever been, but I'm like, I'm not really. I couldn't collect it just for the art. And then I never bothered picking up his Hulk run. I did watch the art that he'd post on his social media. He did a pretty epic Hulk for sure. Yeah, Adam. See, yeah, at least I feel kind of justified. I was like, yeah, he never didn't lose a step, not a single skill lost. But he does have an art style, like the way he would draw Peter Parker. It just kind of looked like Mark from Invincible, kind of like same facial structure. And you could make that claim about a lot of artists. Like Jim Lee does same face thing, so does Liefeld. Um, I don't know. I do like seeing that he's incredibly popular and successful, and just seeing a guy who just loved making comics and he gets into it and he's kicking ass. And also his Battle Beast, that shit is just rocking my world. That's like him doing exactly what he's best at: monsters and violence and blood and guts. Kind of pissed off my shop hadn't put a current issue of it in my box last time. They said they should have it there for me next Saturday. But I'm like anxious to get my hands on that damn Battle Beast. Oh yeah, Shocula, the one just around the corner from when you were out here. The Heebie Jeebies. It's the name of the place. The gal running it, I think her name's Astrid. She looks kind of like this goth chick. She's really nice, and she goes out of her way to hook me up with the stuff that I want. Yeah, Panda, you're right. The cartoony art style lets you avoid the same face thing because you can exaggerate in another direction. I completely agree. I definitely am guilty of the same face scenario. So I try to, like with the He-Man book I was doing and with some of these other characters, I try to make the entire silhouette of the character very unique. So even if I drift into the same face world, the overall design lets you identify who it is and hopefully not seem as bad. Shock, the shop about 30 minutes from your house is sweet. 150,000 back issues. Is that good for a shop to have that many back issues? Does that mean they're not moving stuff? It's fun for a collector to show up in there and have a million things to look through. I wish I had a local shop that had a lot of back issues that were priced appropriately, but I swear these idiots out here with a couple of these local shops I can go to, they have back issues, and they got them priced $4, $5, $6, $7 a piece for something that should be a frickin' quarter. Like, this is a quarter bin. This is a dollar bin. And then they sit there and sit on the books for years. I'm like, you wonder why they're not moving. Oh, they constantly buy and sell big collections. That's cool. Yeah, see, I'd love to go digging through all this old image stuff and for $1. I'd go and spend a lot of money. Like, relatively speaking. Conjure Man, these are Tombow. See if you can see that. Sorry, I don't know if that's coming through. Tombow. I learned about these from a couple of professional inkers, and they work really well. Shockula, you're gonna try and buy one of them out so you could like have like ownership in the place. That would be fun. Shockula's comic shop. And then I could make a pilgrimage. It's like going to Mecca, except I'm going to make a pilgrimage to Shockula's comic shop. Well, the guy's over 60 and he think he wants out. Well, there you go. That sounds like it would be fun. I like parts of Spider-Man 2099. I read the first couple of issues. I thought Rick Leonardi was a pretty good artist on that for sure. I honestly don't remember much about the actual story. Oh, excuse me. Roland, he's a pirate. Is such a good composition. Yeah, it's that's more Hans Zimmer, right? In fact, now I got another one. It's Inception. A lot of Hans Zimmer in my. In fact, Hans Zimmer's done way more music than I kind of thought. I honestly never paid attention to him as a composer until Interstellar, and then I really paid attention to him once he did Dune. But now I'm like, oh yeah, he did this. He did. I just listened to a track from the Tom Cruise Samurai movie, The Last Samurai. There you go, which I love. Like, man, Zimmer's everywhere. Yeah, the 2099 costume. Like, that's one of those designs where you're like, perfect design. Like, somebody just nailed it perfectly from the first step. He did the Black Rain. Black Rain. I don't even know if I know what that is. The Scarlet Spider. You said the word we are never supposed to say aloud. Is that Spider Clone? Okay, Michael Douglas movie from '89. I thought you were talking about Chocolate Rain. Chocolate Rain. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. It sounds now that you say that, my brain's sort of making a small connection. It sounds familiar. And movies from the '80s and '90s, I've just decided are kind of the best movies ever compared to modern stuff. I'm like, everything was awesome. We just didn't know it. New York cop goes to Japan. You know what movie that sounds kind of reminds me of? What's that movie with Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery, where they're like cops in modern day, but they're dealing with a lot of like cultural Japanese underworld stuff. You say cop goes to Japan, and that movie popped into my mind. American Ninja 3. Yeah, facts. '80s was top tier action. '90s started to drop a lot of the over the top cartoonish action and do more stuff like Heat. Heat's great. Yeah, I love Heat. Um, I remember going and seeing it in the theater, and I felt like it was really long, way longer than it needed to be. But when I got older and rewatched it, I'm like, this Heat movie's freaking fantastic. You're talking about the De Niro and Pacino and Val Kilmer. Yeah, Rising Sun. That's the one. I liked that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't know if it holds up, but they had. I like that actor, Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa. He was in it. He was awesome. But he's awesome in everything. Is he dead? Guy that played Shang Tsung. Hey, Addie. Ms. Ma'am, how are you? Just popping in before bed. Well, thanks for popping in. They were changed the original design of the 2099 outfit to avoid confusion with Black Widow. Oh, well, that makes sense, I guess. Life Force. You know what, Rad? I've never seen Life Force, but I have subsequently seen a scene or two, mostly involving that insanely beautiful lady with the dark hair in a couple of the scenes from that movie. Uh, I think we all know. If you know, you know. I've never watched it. If I'm talking about the same thing you are, but I was like, wow, man, I love the '80s. Doesn't Patrick Stewart get his face sucked or something? I don't know about any of that. Poor Patrick Stewart. If a boy has been chosen, a boy shall be king. Might be the first thing I ever saw Patrick Stewart in. Was either Excalibur or Dune, but I didn't know anything about him and pay attention until after The Next Generation started, and I fell in love with that movie or that TV show. And then suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, Captain Picard, he's in Dune and he's in Excalibur. I don't think this man ages. Leonardo was the first person to draw the black suit Spider-Man. Really? Leonardo is one of those guys I didn't really like too much at first, but then he grew on me. Cloak and Dagger. That's the Marvel book, right? With the guy with the big cloak and the girl with the slutty white outfit, right? Montoya, what's up? I like that. Watching the stream and doing art things. That should be like what I just call all my live streams. Watching the stream and doing art things. Why do most so called action movies now not have memorable theme songs? Yeah, I feel like movie scores have really dropped off. Um, there's not a lot of new talent making interesting stuff. But yeah, like you're saying, you hear that Terminator theme pop off, you're like, I know exactly what that is. And then suddenly you're like, God damn, now I want to watch Terminator.
Peanut lover's favorites. The other has a sunflower butter you packed for your son. You do your best to help them avoid food allergies, but accidents can still happen. Zoe.
Thanks for stopping in, Tim. got me burning in the third degree. That sounds familiar. What is that? Okay. In Tech Noir in the club. In the club. Come with me if you want to live. You know what's a musical theme? You know, talking about modern movies not having memorable music. I used to kind of, because I've been into movie soundtracks forever. I kind of discovered my love of movie soundtracks from watching Star Trek. And I'm like, why do I love this music in Star Trek 2? So I go and buy a cassette tape of it or something. And then from there, I just was like, I was into movie scores big time. And seems like there's so few that are good. And the Avengers theme, it's playing right now in the background when the Avengers first come out. I kind of didn't dig it that much, but boy, has it grown on me. I hear this Avengers theme, and I'm like, oh my God, I love it. I just love it. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out, Shakila. You've convinced me. Yeah, Panda. I at first it didn't like I heard it and I'm like, okay, it's heroic, whatever. But just as time has gone on, and it part of it I think has to do with the fact that I just ended up just loving the Avengers characters and the Marvel movies, and they were just nailing it. Like it was all so good, and you know, all the characters had their own individual themes. But when that Avengers theme kicks on, you're like, oh yeah, this is badass. This is really great. The Lake House. Isn't that chick flick with Neo and whatever the fuck? I'm trying to think of something for Sandra Bullock. Am I is that or is that a different one? Yeah, Panda Shockley's got me convinced. Talking about it. You remind me of a cousin I had. I think I may have destroyed this pen. You know what, Shocula? I like a lot of the music from the Howard the Duck movies because or movies, the one because I love those movies. Hunger City, I love that, but all the songs from the Cherry Bomb group, they were awesome. I love that movie and I love those songs. You're going to make me turn them on and play them right now actually. Hell yeah, right? Unabashed Howard the Duck fan right here. I will defend that movie forever. Sounds so 80s, and I love it. I can make it here in the city. Yeah, Leah Thompson. She was something. Sheldon, my dude, how are you? How the F are you, sir? Fatal J, yeah. Battlestar Barbarian. The Steve Rick Seidler, the guy who did the finishes on that book. Yeah, he's great. You know, he did those gray tone finishes on that issue of Liefeld's Last Blood. Kellogg's cereal. I chat with that guy kind of on the regular. Really nice guy. Really talented dude. He even inked a cover for me for my book, but once he kind of inked it before he knew what the hell was in the book, and now he's kind of unsure if he wants me to use it considering the content of my book. He's like, I don't know if I want my stuff associated with weird sex shit. I'm like, it's just about a dick in a jar, but there's also a lot of other creepy sex stuff in it. So he's kind of like mulling it over whether he wants me to use it. I was like, that's fair. I am making some weird shit. It can just go on this issue, the one I'm working on now, because there's no weird sex shit in this one, just a lot of violence, which he's obviously very cool with. Yeah, Jay, if you look and see, I did the video on it. The Last Blood, there's the black and white like manga edition. It's the only one I've got, but that's where he. That's the first time I had ever heard of him, and he reached out to me and kind of contacted me and told me a little bit about his experience working with Liefeld. Yeah, Monty, thanks for stopping in, dude. Yeah, he made that book look good. He was the only thing, in my opinion, that made it worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, I get it. He doesn't want to have, he's kind of iffy on, I guess basically pornographic stuff, which some of the stuff in this book one that I'm doing is definitely along those lines. So. But again, it can go on book 2. Joe Quesada. Quesada spelled with a Q. Left Marvel. Well, Quesada never left Marvel. He's still there. He took over as editor-in-chief, and now he's like chief creative officer or whatever the fuck, and Quesada's still there. So it's not like he ever left.
Get tax expertise without legal fees. Switch to a TurboTax expert for $150.
I'm on my way.
Oh yeah, that Black Panther book. I wanted to pick it up. I never saw copies of it. I never sought it out. That was like a big deal for exactly 7 seconds. And then it's just like it vanished and no one's spoken about it. Like, what the hell ever happened to that? Yeah, Sheldon, you're right. There was like a big deal about that. Like, it was a major thing. He made Black Panther white, and people was over it once issue 2 happened. I mean, that's a ballsy move. There's certain people who are never going to accept that, and we all forgot about it. I guess the question becomes is the story any good, and does it make sense to take a character that's the Black Panther and make it a white dude? I mean, you know, people get race swapped into other characters all the time in movies and TV. We all forgot about it. Man, I miss Quesada's old art. I know I've said that a lot. And I think he's still a fantastic penciler. He knows how to do it all, but I miss his old X Factor work. But I miss everyone's old X Factor work.
I don't know why you're not talking to me. I don't know what went wrong. Two people who had
Yeah, I don't know, Jay. It seems like Jim Lee's got no interest in going anywhere else. And I'm like, oh, God. I want to see Jim Lee do something awesome. I like how that Hush 2 was supposed to be the biggest thing ever, and it just fizzled out like a bad fart. It's like, oh, yeah, that was a big deal, and then it wasn't. I have not had a chance to check out any of the Spider-Man, Superman crossover stuff. I am interested. I'll see if I can't get my hands on something. Panda, you got Hush 2 on your pull list on principle, but still haven't even read it? Yeah. And Jay, I know I keep hearing about that thing. The what the hell? The Wolverine and Spider-Man? I just gotta make a list of things I should try and seek out.
We worried we'd have to fight to get paid for such a small plant.
and life would revolve around the shopping cart.
Yeah, someone's saying that Top Cow seems to be doing fine. I mean, they're making Darkness books and they're making Witchblade books, but that's it, right? That's the only things that they have that anybody gives a shit about, really. And I'm like, where's the crazy badass artist to just blow us away? The art in them both. I mean, I've only seen the first issue of The Darkness, and of course, the big name they got, Ed Baines or Bennis or however you pronounce his name. He's good, but the guy that got following him up is certainly fine. But God, I want to see some new artist just come along and blow everyone away. And it all just, I don't know. It feels like everyone's kind of lost their balls. Remember in the Joker, in the Dark Knight, he's like, what happened? Did your balls drop off? It's like, did everyone just become afraid? It's easy for me to say that because I'm not the one financially fronting the money to create a comic, and you need it to be successful, and so you take the safe route. It's easy for me to sit here and piss and moan, but I don't know. When I think of Witchblade, I think of like hot girl in crazy armor thing. Yeah, Sheldon, my understanding is that Hush 2 hasn't finished yet, so I think they were waiting for Jim Lee to get caught up, and then they were going to keep going with it, I guess. Mello, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm aware of Kari Andrews. I know he's really good. Um, I'm so out of touch with anything that's coming out new these days. People be like, "Have you heard of this?" I'm like, "No." Maybe I should find out about it, and then I never think about it when I'm at my comic shop. I do look at the shelves every time they have, I stop in at my local comic shop, but I swear that the comic shops don't do things like the old days where like here is the section of everything new. It feels like everything is trades or it just has to be on your pull list. Like they don't buy copies to just stick on the shelf. But this is like their satellite store. It's not their main store, so maybe I'm just not getting the full experience with my local shop. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't have a sucky shop. It's just a small little shop, Mike, and like I said, it's like not their main store. They have a main one up farther north. Um, but I don't think they put new titles on the shelf here. It's all like trade collections, back issues, and a bunch of gaming stuff. I don't know how they stay in business anyway, but the gal running it says she's been impressed over the last year or so because comics have been selling a lot better, and it's like it's awesome. She's like, things are selling. Jay, you want to pick up rejects? Yeah, you're the second guy. In fact, some dude hit me up. One of my buddies said, "Dude, can I buy those rejects books off you?" And I'm like, I actually kind of like those. That's one of the few things Liefeld's done that I kind of I like. So I kind of don't want to let him go. I kind of want to take over Cyberforce. we all talk a bunch of shit of like, if I could do this, I would do this, and it would be awesome. And I would like to take over Rejects. I would like to do that book for Liefeld. That'll never happen. I mean, I'm not stupid, but in Fantasyland. But I kind of feel like I might have a take on Cyberforce. Um, I certainly don't have a take on Wildcats. In Fantasyland, where we're all kind of like, if I was given the opportunity, what would I do? Wildcats is one of those books I'm like, I got nothing. Everything about Wildcats that needed to be said was. The concept to me doesn't really like hold up unless you were to just do an absolute complete. The only version of Wildcats that I could think that I could do something with, if I, again, not that anyone would or should, but if I were given the opportunity to do Wildcats, I honestly think that I would take and just reboot the entire concept from scratch with the same concept that Jim Lee had in mind, but just try to do better execution. Like alien human hybrids on Earth fighting a war. I think there's something there, but all it was is these guys just running around fighting lizards. And I don't know, the whole like these lizard creatures can look like anybody. So there could be a big secret of like, who do you trust? Hubba, 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 money, 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 who do you trust? Me, I'm giving away free money. Jay, yeah, I think Wildcats had potential. It just kind of never got there, I think. It was kind of like, oh, there's cool art and there's alien lizards and we're fighting them and we're punching them. And then we're punching and we're fighting. And to me, Wildcats got interesting when Alan Moore took over and just like jettisoned the entire concept. Yeah, the war's over. No one cares. Now, who are the characters without the war that they've been fighting for their entire existence in their book? Do they still have anything interesting to say? Books. You want to see some Wildstorm characters in DC films? See, I'm the opposite. I wouldn't mind seeing some uh, Wildstorm characters on film, but I have no interest in Wildstorm characters in the DC universe. To me, they're Image Comics characters, and they're supposed to be like their own independent universe. I have no interest in watching Grifter and Voodoo run alongside Superman. It to me, it does not fit. And I want to see the Authority, but again, I don't want to see it in a frickin' Batman movie or something. The Authority had an interesting spin on its own concept that doesn't need Batman to prop it up or Superman or Wonder Woman. Like those are DC characters. I want to see Wildstorm characters on their own. But I don't think we'll ever get that. Because honestly, I don't think there's really a demand for it. There's not enough of us out there that give a shit. I don't think there's any world where they're going to like, you know what the audiences out there really need? They need a Wildcats movie. Yeah, Jay, you feel like Wildstorm feels more Image than DC. Yeah, Planetary. Here's what I would love to see with Planetary. I feel like the best option for Planetary would be a high-end animated series because they have to change up everything. God damn, I fucking hate commercials on YouTube. Um, I don't know that it would work as like a live action thing. There's too much story to put into a single movie. No one knows these characters really, so they're not going to put that much money into it. And then a TV show wouldn't have the budget for it, but like an animated thing. And just do every issue of Planetary word for word, scene for scene from the comics. And man, I would eat that shit up. I haven't specifically avoided collecting the darkness, but yeah, I've only done issue 1 because somebody sent it to me. And again, I don't see these things on the shelf at my local comic shop, and I guess I could go in and ask to put it on hold, but I'm also not that thrilled. I'm not super excited to do that. I don't know, Jay. I don't know if it's a potential lawsuit. I mean, if they printed it once already, I don't think that there's a problem. Um, they could do an evil Fantastic Four and all that stuff. I don't know. I feel like they could get away with it. I think there was some lawsuit potential that actually come up with the character Axel Brass in the comic, who was a little bit too close to what's that pulp hero? I can never remember. The character Axel Brass is based on, I can't remember the guy's name, but like a classic pulp novel hero. Like bronze skinned. What's the character's name, guys? Doc Savage. Thank you. God, I can never remember. I always forget fucking Doc Savage. But yeah, Axel Brass is based on Doc Savage. And I think that there was some heat from some legal end of it. Like, you need to stop doing this Axel Brass thing. This is too close to Doc Savage. And it's like, who fucking cares? Like, all it did was make me more interested in Doc Savage because I loved the Axel Brass character in Planetary. So it made me want to go seek out, well, the original version of this character. But if they're going to be like, no, this is a deeply personal and lucrative character of ours, like, fucking no one cares about Doc Savage. Come on. Anyway, Planetary as an animated thing, I think would be amazing. It will never happen. If I ever win the lottery and get billions of dollars, so, it'll never happen, I would personally fund a Planetary movie. I'd go to DC and Warner Brothers and be like, hey, assholes, you're all stupid and you don't know what you're doing. I will front the money. You just need to put out the permissions for us to do it.
Vibe coding in AI Studio with Gemini 3.
Yeah, Panda, definitely. Michael Turner was great. I love his passion, man. That guy wanted to make comics. And make comics he did. And I've said before, I feel like Michael Turner is one of those guys where I don't think that he would have ever surrendered drawing sequential pages to just do covers, kind of like a J. Scott Campbell, or to go do video games like Joe Mad. I feel like Michael Turner wanted to make comics all the time. That's what he loved to do. And I bet you he'd still be drawing pages today. Because he never gave up, that's all he wanted to do. He had all these ideas. He wanted to tell his stories. He did the Witchblade thing. Then he did Fathom. Then he did Soul Fire, which I didn't care for, and then that Ecos thing he was going to do with the weird goblin creatures, which I was not interested in. But you know, yeah, I think he'd still be around making comics, and like love him or hate him, he'd still be doing it. Such a shame the guy passed away. I seem to remember, I don't remember about Fathom going animated, but I do seem to remember there being like what sounded like serious conversations with making a Fathom movie and having Megan Fox star. And that, I would have been all about that. Megan Fox in her young prime, playing a Michael Turner character. Sign me up. I didn't know that they were going to make a dumb story. Have her talking to fish. Why can't some of these studios just trust the material? It's like, hey, you get the rights to this popular thing, and then you want to change it and do your own stupid version that doesn't make sense. Well, I'm a huge Megan Fox fan, so I don't know if that helps. It helps me. I'm pretty sure Megan Fox wants to date me. I should hit her up and be like, "What's up, baby? What you got going on?" I didn't know that Jim Lee was trying to get Turner to do Fathom under Cliffhanger. Yeah, everyone was after him. After him, Liefeld wanted him. I didn't know. I mean, I understand that Jim Lee would like. You'd be stupid to be like, "Hey, this guy's hyper popular." What a! It would be dumb to like imagine putting Campbell, Joe Mad, um, fucking Crimson artist. What's his name? Ramos. What's his full name? But yeah, and then have Michael Turner there too. I mean, Humberto. Right. I seem to remember also that there was a big old legal dispute, I think, between Silvestri and Turner over Fathom, which is kind of like, if I understand correctly, like I think Silvestri was trying to say, like, you created Fathom while you worked at Top Cow, therefore Top Cow owns part of Fathom. I think that's what was going on, and if that's the case, that's really messed up. It actually kind of pisses me off about Silvestri because you're saying that you're not going to let the guy have his own goddamn creation. You're going to try and steal a part of that pie. And Turner wasn't able to publish Fathom for a stretch because of that lawsuit or whatever, the legal battle he was having with Silvestri. That sucks. Sheldon, I know you're a big Turner fan. Do I have that information right? Am I remembering that information correctly? Yeah, Jay. See, you're remembering the version that I remember. Like, yeah, Turner's the hot thing, but you can't let Turner go off and make his own thing. Like, what the fuck is the point of Image Comics? I like Silvestri for a million reasons, but that really—it's the only thing that I'm aware of that sullied my kind of opinion on him a little bit. It's like, this is Turner's thing. Like, you don't need to take some of that. It's like you've become the bad guy. But they seem to have patched things up, eventually, because Turner went on his way. Yeah, Sheldon, that sounds familiar too. While Turner couldn't do his Fathom thing while that battle's going on, so he did the Superman Batman, which I'm digging out. I need to get that on the channel. Um, yeah, that sounds familiar too. Kind of messed up, Mr. Silvestri, who I think is awesome, but come on, dude. Yeah, Turner was like the money maker. Like no one was bigger than him at Top Cow. Like he even kind of eclipsed Silvestri. It's like these new guys came along. Honestly, J. Scott Campbell was overshadowing Jim Lee. And Turner, same thing with Silvestri. It's not like they lost, Silvestri or Lee lost any of their skills or anything, but everyone wanted to see the new Campbell and everyone was aping their style. But at least it seems like Jim Lee didn't make things a hassle for J. Scott Campbell the way that sounds like Silvestri might have done for Turner. Yeah, Sheldon, I know you're a big Michael Turner fan. Yeah. That day they announced that he was dead broke my heart, man. Like that one hit. Yeah, he was also, but he was doing that thing, and this is just a minor complaint on my part, where Michael Turner stopped using an inker. And yeah, his pencils are so tight, I honestly kind of get why you don't even need to bother doing it in his case. He does such tight pencils, but I see a difference, and I think Michael Turner inked by Joe Weems is like just the best. That shit looked the best on Fathom, and I liked his art, but I liked it less than I did on Fathom. And it never kind of quite got back to the same for me. But that's like going from like a 10 to a 9.5. Like it's like kind of minor.
This boy is huge, like fire. So start melting, ladies, because the boy is hotter than hot. Right sides, right heels, right hands, right arms.
Yeah, that's a good point, Sheldon. Not a lot of people try to alter their style. Or if they do, it doesn't work. Guess it just depends. I'm one of those guys that the last time I was blown away by Jim Lee, and I was like, oh my God, please draw like this forever, was when he did Death Blow. I am a huge fan of when Jim Lee puts in intense, heavy shadows everywhere. Not the cross hatching lines, but like heavy shadows. I feel like he understands heavy shadows way better than, I don't know, I was going to say better than even he knows, but that's kind of a condescending thing for me to say. What the fuck do I know? But I just want more heavy, thick shadows. The way he inked himself with a brush on Death Blow, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's the dumbest character, and it's the most overwritten bullshit, boring story ever in the history of ever. But his art, I'm like, oh, imagine if he drew All-Star Batman in that style. That would have been, that would have made that book just shine. All-Star Batman drawn with that ink brush style.
I mean, we all do it. You see a line, have no idea what it's for, but your brain is like, should I join it? It's crazy, like. Hey, let me call you back.
Brain is like this.
Even crazy.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, and then Jim Lee, he bailed on it because Frank Mailer called him out. in the letters pages, and it's like Jim Lee, his balls dropped off. You know, I get you don't want to piss off Grandmaster Frank Miller, but I don't. It's kind of like fuck it, just keep doing it. But yeah, he should have done frickin' All Star Batman in that style. I wonder if he was just doesn't want to do it, or if he was kind of afraid to ask Frank. He's like, "Hey, can I just do this in the Death Blow style?" I kind of just imagine Jim Lee. He's not attached to it the way some of us are. He's like, I'm just going to draw it the way I always draw it. I'm going to have Scott Williams ink the shit out of me, and it's going to be amazing, and people are going to buy it. Well, I think I might be as done with this page as I'm going to be. It's also maybe time for me to wrap up here. Oh, God, I don't know. I don't even keep track of the page numbers. I don't have these scripted out. I'm just kind of freeballing this thing. Let me, I don't know. Let me grab. Let me see. We got 1, 2, 3. I mean, not all of these are completely done. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 12 pages. That's what we got. I'm actually going to have to slow down on drawing this thing, and I got to focus my energies on getting the kind of final stuff done for the first book, scripting it and finishing up some various things. I got to get the cover off to a colorist. You know what's funny, Sheldon, is I'm actually not a fraction as fast as I was last year at the same time doing my Masters of the Universe fan comic. I was way faster. But I also had the pages planned out and the story planned out in my head far in advance. And I'm kind of, by comparison, just kind of winging this one a little bit. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but I'm kind of just like, it's almost like streaming consciousness, comic creation. I know what's going to happen, but I don't have it even thumbnailed out. Outside of a few pages ahead of the one I'm working on. So I'm just like, all right, I know these guys are going to show up and they're going to fight and it's going to be awesome. And I'm just going to make the pages as fun as I could possibly imagine making them. But yeah. But with the He-Man one, I had it thumbnailed out all the way to the end. I knew exactly where it was going. I knew exactly how it was going to wrap up. I knew exactly what I was doing. So I was pumping them out way quicker. But yeah, kind of excited. The action's about to start. We've got everything's about to just blow up and turn into a bunch of fight scenes. So so I can put my book out there and have all these Liefeld lovers get online and tell me how much I suck. I had one today. Oh shit, there it is. Fuck. I had a guy comment on a video. He's like, dude, you fucking suck. Your shit's terrible, bro. I'm like, I know. I know. I'm horrible. Yeah, I'm excited to get to the big action stuff. I mean, you know, you got to get all your ducks in a row. You got to tell a little bit of story to set everything up. So we got to have people standing around and talking and prepping and interacting and making fun of his dick headgear. But we're going to get into the fun stuff. So I am, like, just like you, I'm very excited to get onto it. But literally the next page, I got to find it where I got it sitting right here. The preliminary. I had it right here. Where the fuck? I can't keep track of anything. Oh yeah, there we go. Jesus, there we go. Yeah, on the top panel, they're going to be jumping out of a window because it goes on from this panel down here. He gets an alarm beeping on him. He's like, holy shit, we got to go. We got to run now. Go, run, 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 jump. They're going to jump out of a window, and then there's going to be this big shot with a giant explosion as the building they were just in blows up behind him. So he's like diving to the ground, and then this bottom panel, they're going to like hit the ground, land, and then that's when the first four characters from the beginning, you know, War Horror and Kill Snap and all those guys they're going to show up, and then the ninja's going to show up, and then off go the fights. Fight, 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 fight. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night, fellas. Hey, look at the comic book we're going to be reviewing 2 days from now. A frickin' Riptide comic. Did you know that you needed a Riptide comic? I didn't know. Tomorrow, Skinbreaker number 7. We're going to get Combat in there somewhere. We're going to get a confusing as hell issue of X-Men. We're going to get Maxi Mage book 2. Hey, we're going to get the reboot of Cage from whatever the hell, 1990. What does that say? I can't even read that. 92. Cage. Oh, the good times. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out as always. I'll catch you later, guys.